Hello, and welcome to the Virtual Entrepreneurship Center. My name is Dr. Keenan Grinnell. I'm CEO of Global Capital Group out of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Today we have Reverend Clifford Jones, who's the pastor of Greater Peace Missionary Baptist Church in Opelika, Alabama, as well as the president of the Greater Peace Community Development Corporation. Reverend Jones is going to be talking to us under the larger umbrella of entrepreneurial faith-based initiatives. Reverend Jones, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, sir, to sit and talk with us.
My pleasure to be here.
Okay, thank you so much. So, just to kind of, get you started and get the ball rolling, tell us a little something about Reverend Clifford Jones, the man, the leader, the visionary. And I know so much about you, I could probably answer those three questions real quickly, but it's probably better coming from you.
Thank you. I'm a native of Mississippi. I grew up in Laurel, Mississippi, and one of 16 children, 13 boys and 3 girls, and I learned the nature of work on a farm. Grew up on a farm, and we were able to do a lot of things as a family there on the farm, working together, living together. Actually, I learned some of my leadership skills there on the farm. Grew up and graduated from high school and went on to college at Alcorn State University in Lorman, Mississippi.
I heard a little something about that
school. A little bit about that great school. And I was there for 4 years, completing the 4 years, and majored in agriculture education. After completing my work there, I went to Massachusetts and began working with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Spent 13 years there before coming back south and landed at Tuskegee University, worked there as a liaison with the Soil Conservation Service. After finishing there, went on to work across the state of Alabama, came back to Tuskegee as USDA liaison. Spent a total of 28 years in service, retired in 96 from USDA, became full-time in the ministry in 97, and have been full-time ministry since that time.
Okay, very good. Well, to be candid with you, there's so much more that you could tell us about you that we could spend all of the video taping of this particular module just talking about you, but your responses to these other questions will really give us some additional in-depth insight about the man, the leader, and the visionary. I have an affinity there for you, so I'm just happy to be able to talk with you this morning. So let's go ahead and just get started. Tell us about the Greater Peace Baptist Church faith-based entrepreneurship and economic development journey.
Well, when I came from Massachusetts to Alabama and began working in the community, I became pastor of the Greater Peace Baptist Church in 93. And one of the things I wanted to do, looking at the community and trying to determine what needs that were there in the community and what role could the church play, because I think the church has a major role to play in the community, more so than just meeting on Sunday mornings, Wednesday nights, special services. That certainly is a part of our role, but we have a responsibility to try to help impact and change the community as a whole. And so I began to look at the community to see what was there, and meeting with my board and talking to them about what could we do in order to help lift this community to a higher level. As a result of that, we did a survey, and actually you were a part of that survey when you were there. Your daughter, Nikki, did the survey for us. We sent a survey out throughout the community and asked the community what needs were there in the community that they wanted to see us try to fulfill. And that were basically the top 3 needs that came by was child care. The other one was youth involvement and activities for youth, and housing was the third. And as you well know, we began looking at the youth, the children first, and we were able to get a grant through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta, Georgia, to build a child development center that can house up to 102 children. And that is fully operational at this point in time. We start taking babies at 3 weeks and move on through to pre-K. And then they go to kindergarten. But that was our first project.
And that was actually one of the first funded Federal Home Loan Bank projects in the state of Alabama.
Absolutely. That's absolutely. That was the first one under the EDGE program, Economic Growth Enhancement program. That was one of the first programs that was funded in Alabama. We got $488,000 to build that center, and as I said, it's been operational since that time. Then we began to look at the youth, and the next project we did was the Youth Leadership Academy. The Youth Leadership Academy bringing high schoolers from 9th to 12th graders throughout the school, from the schools in Lee County to come for 7-week training on what are some of the skills and what are some of the challenges that young people face. We do that for 7 weeks, and then on the 8th week we actually do a banquet to graduate them. But then the third piece that they had indicated was quality housing, and we were able to purchase land to build a 48-house affordable housing project that has impacted the community with 48 people, 48 homes. For 15 years they will rent, but in the 16th year they will be able to purchase that home and become homeowners, because that's really what we wanted to do, is be a transition from rent into home ownership, and that is going to take place. We're about halfway in that project now.
You know, Reverend Jones, one of the reasons why we really wanted to sit down with you in terms of the Virtual Entrepreneurship Center is because the model that you have developed, and I've heard you mention transferability, there's some tech transfer seriously within this particular model that you built. But I don't know if you're really bragging on yourself in the manner in which you should be bragging on yourself. And I want to drop some of that out, because there will be other pastoral leaders and faith-based leaders who will see this online video module at whatever time of day and night, wherever they might be located, whatever part of the world that they're located. They need to know that you're a congressional award winner. Go into that a little bit about Jordan's Gate. Is that correct? Tell us a little something about that.
Yeah, Jordan's Gate that's the name of the housing project that we built, and as it was built with funds from, of course, the Enterprise Foundation and other funding sources that came in. Tax credit was a major part of that. That's why we're renting these for 15 years in order to be able to pay back the tax credit, and we become owners at that point in time. But because of that, out of I think it's about 43 states in the nation who compete in terms of awards for projects, sends in nominations to the Congressional and Enterprise Group in Washington, writing that project up. We were #1 in our category nationwide to receive the Charles Edmondson Affordable Housing Award, and several of us were given the opportunity to be flown to Washington to go to Capitol Hill to actually receive that award, and we're very proud of that. We're proud of what we've been able to do to impact people's lives, and also to be able to bring recognition back to our community.
You know, I was going to ask, what did that award do for the psychic of the CDC's leadership and the CDC moving forward at that particular point in time?
It did a lot, because sometimes you work and you don't know your efforts, what impact they're going to have. But once you begin to be recognized for that hard work, it creates within the organizational structure a desire to do more, because once you have achieved in one area, then you're willing to seek out other opportunity in which you may be able to become successful. And so it has created really within our board, within the organizational structure, a desire to let's go after more. And since that time, we bought up lots in the home and the community. We have bought land that we are looking now to begin building individual houses for sale for people in the community to purchase.
Okay. You mentioned child care, you mentioned youth, and you mentioned housing. Are there any other kind of signature programs under the CDC's portfolio?
Yeah, actually, we've been fortunate to do many programs. Well, one of the program that we ran this past year is what we call our stimulator program, dealing with science, math, and education, and computers, and this sort of thing. We started it not knowing exactly how successful it was going to be this coming year, but this whole school year, entire school year, we've had over 70 to 80 kids in the after-school program coming to our Family Life Center, learning those skills. As a part of that, also the state provides an opportunity to feed those kids. It's a lot of kids come to that program. They get a snack when they first get there, but before they leave, in that 2.5 hour period that they are there, we prepare a full meal for them to be able to eat before they go home.
Okay.
What broke my heart one day was when a little boy came through and he ate part of his meal and he asked for a takeout box to take the rest home to his brother. Because there's still kids in our communities that are hungry, that are still going to bed hungry each night. Food insecurity is a major thing in our communities, not only in the Opelika-Auburn area, but also throughout this nation. And so for him to say, I want to take part of this home, it helped us to realize that there are many kids that we may not ever know about who are struggling to get a good, decent meal every day.
Okay.
And so that program has been very successful, and we are in the process of doing a summer program very similar to that to feed kids during the summer month so that they may be able to have a decent meal as well.
Okay, what we're going to do is sign off at this particular point, and we'll be back part 2 with Reverend Clifford Jones of the Greater Peace Missionary Baptist Church and the CDC, Entrepreneurial Faith-Based Initiatives. Thank you.